Hello friends, welcome back to our channel NEET Biology Expert. I am Dr. Parveen. In this lecture series, we are studying about reproduction in organisms. In this particular lesson, we are going to study about artificial method of propagation in plants. Right? Okay. So first, let us see in our previous lessons, we studied about asexual method of reproduction in plants. Asexual method of reproduction in plants is called as vegetative propagation. This vegetative propagation can be broadly classified into two categories. One is natural vegetative propagation and another one is artificial vegetative propagation. By natural vegetative propagation, the plants reproduce asexually by modifications on their stem or modifications on their root or on their leaves like this. So these things occurs naturally on the plants. But now what is artificial propagation? That means there are few other methods of reproduction that could be done on the plants which would not occur naturally. This is called artificial propagation. That means by naturally these methods will not occur in the plants. Okay, so humans, they are adapting this method, they are doing this method to artificially propagate the plants. So this is called artificial propagation. Particularly agriculture and horticulture people, they exploit this vegetative propagation. Why? In order to multiply or reproduce more amount of the stock of plants. Okay, so such methods are called as artificial vegetative propagation. Okay, so here what is the main use of artificial vegetative propagation? This method is used to propagate desired varieties according to the human requirement. That is most important. Whichever variety of plants we want to make, we want to create, we are in need, those varieties we could make artificially by, it's like making hybrid. Okay, this method is called artificial propagation. So this artificial propagation could be classified into two categories. One is conventional method and another one is modern method. So conventional method means these methods are used by man for a long period of time. This is an ancient method. Okay. So very long since we have been using these methods. So that they are called as conventional method. And second one is modern method. So recently, after the technology has developed, particularly after the biotechnology field has developed, we are following some method using tissue culture like this. Okay, so these methods are called as modern methods, where technology is used for the propagation to produce large number of plants in a shorter period of time. Okay, so conventional method and modern method, these are the two ways of artificial propagation. Let us study everything in detail. The first one is conventional method. So in this ancient method of conventional method of vegetative reproduction, there are three major categories, three major types we could achieve this one. One is by cutting and another one is by grafting and third one is by layering. Again, where we are doing this, it depends upon the part where we are doing this on the plant. It could be again classified into stem cutting, leaf cutting, root cutting. Similarly, grafting, we could classify them as bud grafting, approach grafting, tongue grafting, crown grafting and wedge grafting. And the third one, layering, we could classify into mount layering and air layering, right? So the first one is cutting. So what is this cutting? What do you mean by cutting? The name itself says it's cut. We are making a cut on the plant, that is called cutting. Okay. So what is cutting? Cutting is a method of producing a new plant by cutting the plant parts such as root, stem or leaf from the parent plant. Okay. So what we are doing in this method, we are cutting a desired part from the plant, from the parent plant. Either it could be a root or a stem or a leaf, and that cut part is placed into a suitable medium, suitable environment. From that environment a new plant will grow. Okay, so this method is called cutting. Okay, so The cut part is placed in suitable medium for growth and it produces the root and grows into a new plant. So here, depending upon which part we are cutting, this cutting is classified into three types: root cutting, stem cutting and leaf cutting. First one is stem cutting. So look at this picture. This is a stem cutting method. Okay. So a part of the plant stem we cut and we place this in the soil. From that a new plant will come. Okay. It develops roots and a new plant will come. So this method is called stem cutting. Stem cutting is the widely used method for vegetative propagation because it is very easy and it is a very successful method for a vast varieties of plants. So which plants we could achieve this stem cutting? We could do this on hibiscus, shoe flower, Hibiscus rosa sinensis and bougainvillea. Bougainvillea is called paper rose, which grows hugely like a bush on the compound walls. We have seen all these plants. Okay, so hibiscus, bougainvillea, moringa. Moringa is drumstick plant. This also we could grow by stem cutting method, and rose plant. Okay, so these plants, when our friends they have any rose varieties, what we will do, we will get a stem cut from that rose plant and we will plant it in our house, right? So like this, these plants, hibiscus, rose plant, bougainvillea, moringa, they are all example for stem cutting method of artificial propagation. The second conventional method is by root cutting. So in this method, we have to cut the root of the plant and plant it. Okay, from that root, a new plant will come. So this is called root cutting method. So this we could achieve in plants like big trees like malus. Malus is this tree with beautiful flowers, white, pink, yellow flowers it will have. Malus plant and blackberry. Blackberry is a fruit. Okay, this fruit plant, they grow by this root cutting method. So we have to cut a part of the root like this and plant this root. From this root, the new plant will come. And third method is by leaf cutting. Here we have to cut a leaf, part of the leaf of the plant and place this in the soil. So from that leaf, it will catch roots and new plant will grow. Okay, so this is the common method for growing these croton plants like this. Okay, this plants like sansevieria, begonia, bryophyllum. Bryophyllum we have studied previously. Do you remember? This is an example for adventitious bud formation on the leaves. Okay, so these plants, these beauty plants, they are example for this leaf cutting method. Even money plant, you know, this money plant which fastly grows. So that money plant also, a part of the leaf, if we cut and put it in water or you fix it in the soil, then it will grow from that part. Okay, so here the important thing is, when you want to make a leaf cutting, you just can't pluck out a leaf and keep it. You have to cut the leaf along with a part of its stem. Okay, so like this, along with a little part of the stem, cut it and place it in the soil, then it will grow from this leaf. Okay, so these are the conventional method: stem cutting, leaf cutting and root cutting. So why these are called as artificial methods of propagation? Because these methods will not occur naturally in the plants. No plant will cut its own part, go and fix in another place, right? So here a human is involved. Man is doing all this work. So that's why it's called artificial vegetative propagation. Okay. The second category of conventional method is grafting. What do you mean by grafting? Grafting means joining or fusing. That is called grafting. What is grafting? The parts of two different plants are joined or fused. This is important. Okay. Here we are not just cutting. We are joining or fusing the two plant parts so that they continue to grow as a new one. Okay. So here, of the two plants, the plant which is in contact with the soil is called stalk. See, we are taking two plants. Okay, we are going to graft or join the two plants. So one plant will be in its original position, original soil environment. So that plant is called stalk. The another plant which we are going to join along with that plant, no, that is called graft, that is scion or scion. Okay, so two names we are giving here. One is called stalk, which is the standing plant, and another one is called scion, which is the grafting plant. Okay, so famous example for this grafting is grafting in rose. So this is, see, this is a rose plant. Okay, this is a rose plant which is in the soil. Here what they are doing, just making a cut in the rose plant and just peeling off the stem part and inserting another variety of the rose plant in that and tying this area. So this is called grafting. Let us see this in detail. So this is a rose plant. Okay, see here a cut is made on the stem of the original plant. Here like a V-shaped cut, we will make a V-shaped cut and insert another plant, another rose variety. For example, we want to make a hybrid plant. We have a red color plant and just mix it with a white color rose plant. Okay, so a new pink color hybrid will be produced. Okay, so this is an original plant, this is called stalk plant, and this is an inserted part, this is called scion. So after that you have to seal it with a cello tape or a sealing tape like this. Seal this part with the tape. Okay, so after some period of time, what will happen, from this area the new plant buds will emerge, then cut it off and plant it in another soil. Okay, so this method is called grafting. So here, which part we are fusing, that depends upon that. The grafting is of 5 types. Okay, so one is called bud grafting, approach grafting, third one is tongue grafting, crown grafting, and wedge grafting. So all these are basically grafting, fusing two plants. But how we are fusing, in which style we are occupying, so depending upon that, the name is little bit different. Okay, so look at this picture. These are all the different varieties of grafting. We will see these in detail. So the first method is called bud grafting. So what is bud grafting? In this method, we are taking a plant. Okay, for example, see this picture. In this picture, we are taking a plant, the plant which is fixed in the soil, that is called stalk, right? So in the stalk, make a T cut. Make a cut like this and peel or lift the bark. Okay, so there will be a pouch like area will be formed like this. A pouch like area will be formed here. Okay, so in that area you insert another plant, that is whichever you want to graft along with this stalk, that is scion. Insert it. Okay, insert this scion here like this and then cover it with an insertion tape or a bandage like this. So see this is a stem. Okay, here a cut is made T shape and a bud is inserted like this. Okay, so this structure or this method of grafting is called bud grafting. So important thing in the bud grafting is, here we make a cut in the T shape, capital letter T. That shape we make a cut and lift the bark open. Okay, so this cutting is called bud grafting. The second method is called approach grafting. Approach. What is approach? Approach means approaching, coming, closing. That is called approaching. So here, for which plants we do this method? Here, if the plant have same thickness and if they remain rooted, that's important. Okay, so we are taking two plants. We want to graft the plant. They should have the same thickness and they also should be remain rooted. Okay, see in the previous one, bud grafting, what we did, one plant was rooted, that is called a stalk, and another plant was, a small part was cut called scion, we inserted. Here there is no insertion, both the plants remain rooted. Look at this picture here, one plant, the one plant trunk, okay, it is remained rooted in the soil. The another plant is in the pot. Okay, this brown plant from the soil, and this green stem part is from the pot. Okay, so we are just joining these two plants. So this method is called approach grafting. Okay, how this is achieved? See here, this one plant is there. Okay, here also one cut is made, a small slice is made, and here also in another plant and another slice is made. So these two plants are bringing together and fuse it with a tape or a tie it with something, okay, and cover it, and after 1 to 4 weeks what will happen, the plants get detached and they grow from that area, and we have to separately grow it in another pot. Okay, so this type of grafting is called approach grafting. Here the important thing is both the plants remain rooted and they must be of the same size, then only this approach, the thickness if it is same only, they will attach very well. Okay, and the third method of grafting is called tongue grafting. Tongue grafting, here also the plant should have same size, but we are making a cut. Okay, so here you see a scion and a stalk having the same thickness is cut obliquely. So this is stalk. This is stalk. Stalk means the plant which is rooted. Okay, and scion. Scion means the new plant, whichever we want to make a hybrid. So here we are cutting the scion in a shape like oblique. Oblique means in this angle make a cut. Okay, and insert it, fit it with one over the another. This is called tongue grafting. So look at this picture. This is one plant which is fixed. Okay, this is also cut like this, and this is an another plant which is also had a cut like this. Okay, so they both are joined together like this and tied with a tied tape. After some period of time what will happen, a new plant or new growth will be seen from this tied area. Okay, then we have to separate and plant it individually. Okay, so this method of grafting is called tongue grafting. Here we are making the cut in an oblique angle, right? The fourth method is called crown grafting. So what is crown grafting? When the stalk is large in size, the scions are cut into wedge shape and inserted on the slit and fixed in position. This is called crown grafting. So stalk, see, if you want to make a hybrid in a large tree, this is the stalk. Okay, if the stalk is a very thick, okay, a large size, what you are doing, you make this scion in a wedge shape. This is wedge shape. Okay, so like this shape you cut this scion and insert on the stalks in every corner. You see in this picture they have made 4 scions get inserted in this large trunk and covering with a cello tape. So after some period of time what will happen, from this part a new plant will come. Okay, so this method is called crown grafting. And the fifth method is called wedge grafting. So what is wedge grafting? In this, a slit is made in the stalk, twig of scion is inserted and tightly bound so that a cambium of the two join together. What do you mean by slit? Slit means a straight cut. Okay, so this is a plant, this is a stalk plant. Just make a straight cut like this and insert the scion. Insert the another part like this. Okay, so look at this picture here. This is a plant. Here they make a straight cut, V-shaped cut they made here, and they inserted an another part of the plant, that is the scion was inserted. Okay, and seal again, cover it. Okay, after some period of time what happened, you see here the new tissues, this is called cambium, the new tissues are produced on the both the sides, they will get fused. Okay, so this type of cutting is called so this type of grafting is called wedge grafting. Okay, so grafting are of 5 types, and depending upon which style of fusing we are making, we have different varieties. So the next third method of conventional artificial method of reproduction is layering. So what is layering? The stem of the parent plant is allowed to develop roots while still intact. Okay, this is a very common and very famous method we used to do, that is called layering. So what is this? The root develops and the rooted part is cut and the plant grows into a new plant. So this we do for many plants like jasmine, rose, ixora, like this. Okay. So this layering is of two types. One is called mound layering and another one is called air layering. What is mound layering? This method we adopt for the plants with very flexible stem. For example, rose, jasmine, like this we used to do like this. Okay. So look at this. This is a parent plant having the stem, very flexible stem. Take a rose example. Okay. So just fold the stem like this, and it should be in contact with the soil, and put a keep a weight, okay, stone, something like that. So this area of the stem is in contact with the soil. So water it. After few days, what will happen? This part will start to develop a root. Okay. So from the original plant, now we get a individual plant. So this method is called mound layering. This we adapt for lemon, rose, jasmine like plants. Okay. The second method is called air layering. Here there is no contact with the soil directly. Okay. Rather, what we are doing, if this is a plant stem, just a small part of the bark, the stem tissue, you just cut it. Okay. And after that, what you do, you have to cover it with a moist soil. Okay. So see, this is the plant, just a part of the bark is sliced or cut, not fully cut, just a few tissues you remove off, and then cover it with a moist mud or soil and protect this with polythene just to retain the moisture. Okay. So after a few days, what will happen? In this part, the roots will develop. Okay. In this part, the roots will develop, and from this, a new plant will be produced. Okay. So this method is called layering. This is also one conventional method. Okay. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of this conventional method? Let us see. So what is the advantages of this conventional method? Here the plants produced are genetically uniform, right? Because see, for example, we are doing cutting, layering, grafting, everything from the original parent plant, right? So there is no modification, nothing. Whatever the parents, the offsprings also will be like this. So genetically it will be uniform, and many plants can be produced in a short period of time. Okay. So if you want to make like this layering, mound layering, different parts of stems we can do simultaneously. Okay, 2-3 branches of the stem we can mound layer simultaneously. Like this, many plant parts can be produced quickly. Also, if some plants which do not have seeds, or some plants which have no seeds or little seeds, which do not able to germinate from the seeds, so those plants also we could able to make the reproduction by this conventional method of reproduction. Understand? So for example, if the plants do not have naturally producing seeds, okay, so they could not be produced by sexual method. So we can adopt this asexual method by grafting, cutting, like this method. Okay. And this is very economical. There is no much money is involved in this. It's very simple, cutting, joining, like this only. So it is very much economical. And two different plants with desirable characters such as a disease resistant or high yield can be grafted and grown. Okay. So for example, if there are two plants, okay, so uh, one plant is making more yield. Okay. So and another plant is there, another plant is highly resistant to fungal infection. Okay. So if you fuse these two plants by grafting, so the hybrid will have both high yield and also highly resistant to the infections. Okay. So like this, whatever desirable character we want, we can achieve by this conventional method of artificial reproduction. Okay. There are some disadvantages in this method. So what are they? The uses of virus infected plants as the parent plant produces viral infected new plants. For example, you know, many plants are susceptible to viral infection and fungal infection. So whatever plant you are choosing as the parent plant for cutting or grafting or this method, okay, if those plants are affected by any microbial infection, naturally the young one also will get the infection. Okay, so this is a disadvantages in this method. And sometimes the vegetative structures used for this propagation are bulky, so they are difficult to handle and store. Storage like this, it is a very small disadvantages. Okay, so these are the small disadvantages of this conventional method of vegetative propagation. Okay. Now let us go about the second one, modern method of vegetative propagation. So what is modern method? After the biotechnology field has developed, we have made enormous contribution in the agricultural industry. Okay, so one of that is tissue culture method. So what is tissue culture method? The growth of plant tissue in a specialized culture medium under suitable controlled condition is called tissue culture. Here what we are doing, we are growing some plants, we are growing some plant saplings, not in the outside environment, natural environment, in a controlled laboratory environment. Okay, so that is called tissue culture. So those plants varieties which we are producing will be of high yield, will be of highly resistant to infection, pest free, like this many, depending upon our needs we can make this modification. Okay, so this method is called tissue culture. How do we achieve this? This we achieve by a technique called micropropagation. Okay, so what is micropropagation? See, in the previous conventional methods, if you want to reproduce and plant, we need an original mother plant, right? So we need a mother plant to make cutting, grafting, or layering. Okay, you need a plant part. Here in this modern method, you don't want a complete stem or a complete plant like this. Just a small bit of its tissue is enough to grow a plant. Okay. See, for example, just here a tissue sample is scraped from a parent plant. So if this is a mango tree, suppose take an example, mango tree. If this is a mango leaf, we don't want the complete stem, complete root, everything. Just part of this mango leaf tissue, scrape it. Okay, and this tissue samples are placed in agar growth medium containing nutrients and auxins. This is transferred into a petri dish containing the growth medium for the plant and also auxin. What is auxin? Auxin is the plant growth hormone. Okay, so auxins we have to provide it. So from this they develop into tiny plantlets. So from that tissue, few tissues only enough. From that small tiny plantlets will develop and then transfer this into a larger container. It will grow into a small plants and then again transfer into a another size containers. So like this we are growing the plant in an artificial environment. So this is called modern method, and particularly we are taking the original parent plant few tissues only. So this is called micropropagation method. Okay, so what is micropropagation? The regeneration of whole plant from single cell. We are taking few cells of the parent, any part of the parent plant, okay, and we are regenerating, producing the whole plant. Okay, the regeneration of whole plant from single cell tissue or small pieces of vegetative structures through tissue culture is called micropropagation. So this is a biotechnological method which we follow in the, which we use in the agricultural field. So by this method we could make highly resistant plant, high yield plant like this. Whichever modification we want, we could make in this method. Okay. So let us see what are the advantages and disadvantages of this modern method. This modern method advantages are the plant with the desired characteristics can be multiplied rapidly in a short duration. So whatever we need, if you want a shape of a mango with the taste of an apple, that also we can make it in one plant. Okay, so like this, whatever hybrid varieties, whatever taste, color, shape you want, you can mix it, fuse it, doing everything in this tissue culture because it is a genetic modification method also. Okay, and the plant produced are identical genetically. How it is identical? Because you are taking it from one tissue and making it, see here, you are taking it from, you're taking this from one tissue and making this culture, and all these tiny plantlets will be genetically identified. They will be same because they are all coming from an original modified tissue or a tissue whatever we have taken in this first medium. Okay, so they are all genetically identified. It's like clone. Okay. And the tissue culture can be carried out in any season to produce plants. That is most important. For example, natural vegetative propagation means some plants have some seasons for their growth. Some grows well in winter, some grows well in rainy seasons, like this. Okay. Here, tissue culture we are doing in artificial laboratory environment. So any plant varieties can be achieved in any season of time. Okay. Also, rare and endangered species can be propagated. If any plant varieties is about to it's called endangered plant, it's about to vanish, so those plants we can again propagate, we can again multiply in this modern method. Also, disease free plants, we are majorly using this purposeful only. Okay, disease free plants can be produced by this culture method, and cells can be genetically modified. So whatever gene modification we want, it can be achieved by this modern method of tissue culture method. Okay, so these are the advantages. It has some disadvantages also. This modern method has some disadvantages. What are they? It is labor intensive and required skilled worker. What do you mean by skilled worker? Here, whoever is doing this tissue culture, micropropagation, DNA modification technology, they must be a biotechnologist, agriculturist, like this. They must be a skilled worker. Okay, it's not like any gardener can do this work like this. Not like cutting or grafting. So it requires a skilled worker, and it is a labor-intensive process. And all this condition should be done in a sterile environment. It should be done in a laboratory environment. So during growing the saplings in the lab, if there is any contamination occurred, it will spoil all your procedure. Okay, so sterile condition must be needed. Also, since the clones are genetically identical, the entire crop is susceptible to new disease or changes in the environmental condition will wipe out the species. So for example, if you are producing a new genetically modified plant varieties, if those varieties is susceptible to any new viral infection or bacterial infection or fungal infection, the whole species or the whole variety will get vanished. You have to again produce it because it is not natural. Okay, so like this there are some disadvantages also, and particularly genetically modified organisms are not desirable for human consumption. Okay, that is also important. So you might have heard about genetically modified rice varieties or genetically modified apple fruits, like this. Okay, some varieties we should not eat. So like this, these are some disadvantages in this modern method of artificial propagation. Okay, so let us revise what we have learned in this lesson. So this lesson is about artificial vegetative propagation method. There are two methods which we could achieve artificial vegetative propagation. One is through the ancient conventional method, that they are called cutting, grafting and layering. Okay, so cutting means we are cutting certain parts of the plants. So depending upon where you are cutting, we could classify them as to stem cutting, leaf cutting and root cutting. The second category is grafting. Grafting means joining or fusing two parts of the plants. So here, depending upon which style of joining you are doing, it could be classified into 5 types: bud grafting, approach grafting, tongue grafting, crown grafting and wedge grafting. Okay, and the third conventional method is called layering. Layering is 2 types: mound layering and air layering. Okay, and the second method is called modern method of vegetative propagation, where we are using tissue culture or micro propagation method to produce the plant. That is called modern method of vegetative propagation. I hope you understand this lecture. If you do like this lecture, please give a like and share this with your friend and subscribe to our channel, Neat Biology Expert. Meet you in another lesson. Take care. Bye.